Hello class. Today we are looking at writing and solving equations and also finding missing angle measures. This is a continuation of things we are already working on. So this is kind of a review. So how do I write and solve equations is one of our two essential questions, and then how do I find missing measures is the second. Learning intentions. I'm learning to write and solve equations and find missing angle measures. Warm-up. You've got two warm-up questions, and I want you to stop. I want you to really think about what you need to do and then do it. So please pause the video and do those two warm-up questions. Okay, what number would make this equation have no solutions? So if I'm looking at it, I've got 2.5x plus 3. I've got 2.5x over here. Whatever this number is, it cannot be 3, because if you want it to not have a solution, it cannot be the same on both sides of my equal sign. So you can use any number. You could use -5, you could use 105, you could use -2, you could use 0, and it would never ever have a solution. So I think I will choose -8. No reason for that, just because that's what came to mind. Okay, what number would make this equation have an infinite number of solutions? Well, I'm looking, this is 6x plus 15, so I know that whatever this is going to be, it needs to be equal to 15. I know that 3 times 2x will give me my 6x. 3 times what number gives me 15? 5 is the correct answer. So that's the way you can set it up, so it will never have a solution, or it will have every number in the world as a solution. So we're going to go into our word problems now. Devin paid $30 to be a member of Fox Lake Gym. When he takes the boxing class, it costs him $2. Jared is not a member of the gym, and it costs him $5 to take the same class. How many classes would it take for Devin's total cost to be equal to Jared's total cost? Okay, we've read it. Let's highlight the important words. Okay, Devin paid $30 just to be a member. When he takes a boxing class, it cost him $2. So before he even walked in the building, he paid $30 out. Jared is not a member, and it cost him $5 for the same classes. The same class. So how many classes before they have paid out the same amount of money? So I want to see where the equality is. Let's start with Devin. He paid $30 to be a member. So before he even walked in, he pays this $30 out. Each time he takes a boxing class, it costs him $2. So that's what's changing. We don't know how many classes he will take. So X stands for the number of classes. Okay, so this has got to be equal to, okay, Jared did not pay the $30 up front, so it costs him more per time. It costs him $5. So we 5, but we don't know the number of those classes. Okay, we are ready to solve. I'm going to move my variable to the other side, so I will subtract 2x. $30 is equal to 3x. Divide both sides by 3. And 10 is equal to x. What does that 10 mean, though? Remember, word problems should be answered with a statement. How many classes would it take for Devin's total cost to equal Jared's total cost? It would take 10 classes before their total costs were the same. Equal is a good way to put it. So after 10 classes, they would have both paid out the same amount. Okay, so if you're looking at it, let's say they did 2 classes a week. That means 5 weeks into it, Jared will start paying more than Devin. Okay, Grady bought a computer and 2 video games for $332.49. The video games cost a total of $69.99. He had a coupon for 25% off the computer. What was the original cost of that computer? Okay, what's the important words here? He bought a computer and 2 video games for a total of $32.49. The video games cost almost $70, and he had a coupon for 25% off. What was the original cost of the computer? So let's put our equation together. So he started out with this, so that would be $69.99 plus. He had a 25% coupon off. If he had 25% off, how much did he actually pay? Okay, so the way you think of it is 25% plus what gives me 100%? That would be 75%. 75% is equivalent to the decimal 0.05. So that's what comes in here now, because our C is the cost of the computer. What is my total? Okay, I am now ready to solve. In a case like this, I would use a calculator. I'll start by subtracting $69.99 from both sides. Okay, 332.48 minus 69.99, and I get 262.49. Okay, and that will be equal to the 0.75 C. Okay, I've multiplied by 0.75. I've multiplied by the fraction 3/4. I can actually divide. Using my calculator, I can divide by the decimal, which is what I would do if I had a calculator. If I did not have the calculator, then I would multiply by 4/3, which is the reciprocal. I'm going to divide by 0.75. Okay, so I'm going to start with a 262.49, and I'm going to divide by 0.75, and I get 349.99 cents. What does that mean? The original cost of the computer was $349.99. Remember, when you go into the grocery store, they will always put it like $49.99 because that sounds so much less than 50. 349.99 sounds less than 350. That is a thing that businesses will always do. Okay, let's look at the back side. Okay, when you started your homework assignment, your friend already had 6 exercises done. You can do about 3 exercises per minute, whereas your friend can only do 2 exercises per minute. How many minutes will it take you to catch up with your friend? So, what do we know? Well, your friend started out 6 exercises ahead of you. You can do 3 in a minute. Your friend can only do 2 in a minute. And when will you catch up to your friend? When will the number of exercises you have done be the same? Well, let's get started. Our variable, we will just use M for minutes. Okay, so your friend started out with 6, but he can only do 2 per minute. So he starts out 6 ahead of you, plus he can do 2 for each minute. But you can do 3 for each minute. Oh, I better put an M because I said that was my variable. How do I solve that? I will subtract 2M from both sides. Six is equal to M. Remember, that's the number of minutes. In 6 minutes, you will catch up with your friend. Okay, so 6 minutes later, you're both at the same spot. For the next 2, we're going to find the variable, and then we're going to find all the angle measures. Remember, we are working with what we call vertical angles. These are vertical angles, and they are congruent. Congruent means exactly the same size and shape. If they're congruent, that means that those 2 expressions have to be equal. So 3A plus 100 will equal A plus 80. This is a two-step equation. Let's get rid of our smaller variable. Let's subtract a from both sides. 2a plus 100 equals 80. Let's subtract 100 from both sides. (2a) equals negative 20. Divide by 2. And a equals negative 10. You're going to say, whoa, 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 how can that be? How can the be? Because we can't have a negative degree measure. No, we can't, but let's put it into one of the two equations and find out what happens. Okay, I've got two to use. I think I will use the a plus 80. I'm going to look at a plus 80. But I know a is negative 10 plus 80. Negative 10 plus 80 is 70 degrees. It worked out simply because of the way the expressions were written. We can have a 70 degree angle. If this one's 70, this one is also 70. Okay, now I've got to think again. I've got two more angles to find. If I cover this up, it shows me that I've got that straight line going on. When you've got a straight line going on, how many degrees should pop into your brain? 180 is true. So, I know that something, 70 plus something, is 180 degrees. 70 degrees plus some number of degrees. When I subtract 70 from both sides, I end up with 110 degrees. Any questions? Okay, can you do the last one on your own? Pause the video and see if you can do that last one. Well, I hope you recognize the fact that we have what kind of angles? Vertical angles. What do we know about vertical angles? They are congruent. If they're congruent, those expressions have to be the same. 4x plus 30 will equal 2x plus 86. Okay, let's get started. The smaller variable is 2x, so I'll subtract 2x from both sides. (2x plus 30 is equal to 86. Okay, I will subtract 30 from both sides. (2x is equal to 56. Now, divide by 2. What is half of 56? Well, half of 50 is a quarter, so that would be 25. Half of 6 is 3, so that would be 25 plus 3. X is 28. Okay, now I'm ready to get started. Which of these expressions am I going to use, though? 4x plus 40 or 2x plus 86? Well, both of them are equally difficult, so I'm going to start with the 2x plus 86 equals 2 times 28 plus 86 equals. Okay, 2 times 28, well, I know that number is 56. 56 plus 86 equals 50 plus 80 is 100 and what? 130. 6 plus 6 is 12. 130 plus 12 is 142. That would be degrees. Okay, and the other two would be 28 degrees. I hope you were able to get those done on your own. So, we're solving equations and finding missing measures.